So let's see what's happening in the Forex market. In this session, we're going to go through two currency pairs, AUDUSD and GBPUSD. Indicators are going to tell you the direction, but indicators will tell you the direction at a later time. So indicators, in comparison to price action, lags behind. So when a trader is likely to enter earlier into a trade because he or she is trading off price action, indicators are going to give you a later signal before you can get into the trade. And most often you enter late and then the market reverses back on you and stops you out abruptly. That's because you traded rightly but entered wrongly. So I'm going to be showing you exactly how to use price action to trade. And for this video, for this session, we're going to be talking about just two currency pairs, AUDUSD and GBPUSD. Why? That's because they are about giving us setups. So I usually love to go through my watch list. If you watch my previous videos, you will see that I do touch on currency pairs that are likely to give us setups. If you're new to this channel, just subscribe. Now let's get into the chart. So firstly, when you come over to a blank chart like this, AUDUSD, you want to know the direction of the trend. So for those that are new to this channel, I do have a masterclass. A masterclass is going to give you a very deep insight on how I trade. So I go in deeper into what I'm going to be doing here so I can know exactly how to go about trading this market the right way and avoid making a lot of mistakes, and most especially to make money, because we're in this game to make money. So if you know what you're doing in the Forex market, trading is going to be easy. And I want my channel to be a place of rest where you've gone through other channels and then all of a sudden you stumble on my channel and see exactly how price action is being traded, see exactly how to trade this market, and then reset your mentality about everything that concerns trading. Apply the nuggets that you're going to be seeing on this channel, because I've got a catalog of videos explaining price action. I've even got a playlist to show exactly how I go about dissecting this market. Most of my trades are bangers, but I'm very far from perfect. So if you want to be making money just like we do, using pure price action, using the purest system of trading which the big banks and the institutions use to trade this market, stick around to the end so that you can see exactly how I do that. So without wasting so much time, let's get into the chart. This is AUDUSD. Now, what is the bias I'm having on AUDUSD? Quickly, we'll start from the monthly time frame. So we usually start the analysis from the monthly time frame. Why? Because the monthly time frame spells the direction of the whole market. I mean, it makes no sense going to opening a chart and going to the 1 hour time frame just to start trading, just because you see the market is either going up or down. In the lower charts, like the 1 hour charts or the 30 minutes charts, that's not how to trade. If you trade that way, you will be blindsided by what's being imprinted in the higher time frames. So if the higher time frames is saying that this market is going up and you're going to the lower time frames like the 1 hour or the 30 minutes to be trading to the downside, you are going to have many of your trades hit stop loss, because that's not the direction of the market. And you would think the 1 hour time frame is big enough. No, it's not. It's actually a small time frame compared to the bias time frames. Your bias time frames, either as a swing trader or a day trader, at least should start from the daily time frame. Swing day traders start from the daily time frame as your bias. Then swing trading at least from the monthly time frame. So I usually start my analysis from the monthly time frame. And what we do essentially in the monthly time frame is to see where the market is going. Are we going up or going down? Using structure to tell and using our trend lines. So in this market now, using my trend line on AUDUSD, I can see that AUDUSD is bearish. Now, this trend line has shown that AUDUSD is moving to the downside, and that's all I need to know. The next thing I want to do is to go over to the weekly time frame to plot our key levels, because these are the levels that we'll use to know where the market is going to react and be able to take our trades comfortably without any form of fear, so that we know that we are not taking our trades on zones, but rather above zones and then into zones. So the best way to be trading actually is from trading from zone to zones. So that's what we'll be doing on the weekly time frame. Let's go over to the weekly time frame quickly. So we'll plot our key levels on the weekly time frame. So I'm just going to plug these levels nice and easy. So essentially, whenever you see two or more reactions to a particular point, that constitutes a key level. I go in depth on how to plot these key levels in my course. So it's the first module of my course. You'll see how to plot these key levels the right way. It doesn't take 10 seconds to plot these levels, to identify them and to plot them. So I'll just take this and clone it, place it right here, set off, and then we still have some levels within, which we'll be touching in a sec. So essentially, this is what your chart will look like when you've plotted your key levels. Now, after we found the reversal trend line, which is this trend line, we will now have another trend line right about here. So as it concerns this particular pair, we see that we have an inner trend line. So we do have the outer trend line, which I've just showed you, and the inner trend line right here. Now you can see that this inner trend line is important because clearly price has broken out of the trend line right here. So price has broken out of that trend line right about there, and that's a very good information to us. So quickly we'll be plotting the inner key levels as well. So this is a key level, and I'm going to use a weekly zone to show that. Now I'll show you why I've been getting interested in AUDUSD of recent. So all this while, AUDUSD used to be a pair that I love to trade as well, and initially AUDUSD was going down. So as at this point right about here, after it broke below this monthly zone, AUDUSD should have come here next. Like here would have been the next zone right about here. So if I'm going to put a key level, I'll just draw a level right about here. So this was going to be the lowest low AUDUSD made before. So AUDUSD was meant to come to this level right about here. But following this break here, it chose not to do that. It just came shy of here, right about this level, and created a tweezer bottom. So this is like a tweezer bottom. It created this tweezer bottom right about here, and AUDUSD spiked to the upside. Now, after it spiked to the upside and was messy, like this was right around, that was April last year. So from April to the end of last year, 2025, I didn't touch AUDUSD anymore. And the reason is because I was applying discipline. Even though we did break above this monthly zone and started to move, it seems like we started to move to the upside, we were still trading below this trend line. So this trend line, which is the inner trend line, we're trading below the inner trend line, and we're also trading below the outer trend line. So it will be like we're going against the flow of the river if I decide to take trades here, and it will be choppy, because if you look here, this is a very choppy market. You're not going to find the best entries, and your trades are going to take the longest to hit TP. You can see how long and how choppy this market was. So I didn't touch AUDUSD and I left it. Now this key level, which you see here, which is the weekly level, this key level has been hit, and if I zoom in clearly, you can see that we've not only broken the inner trend line, we've also hit that key level. Now my bias usually flips whenever we break an inner trend line. So in this case now, we've not broken the overall trend line, but we've broken a weekly trend line, and at the same time price has begun to move to the upside. So all I will need for a full confirmation for AUDUSD, because now I'm beginning to have bullish bias on AUDUSD. For now, the market is still neutral, but my bullish bias will be fully formed, and be at this peak whenever we do break above this zone. If we break above this zone and hold above this zone, I'll be looking to trade AUDUSD to the upside. Now, how far I will trade it to the upside depends on how we break and also how we set up. Now, there are a lot of take profit regions to be earned from AUDUSD. Technically, we have this whole zone to the upside like so. So this is going to be about 8,200 pips, but this is not a full-blown reversal, so I will not be overly optimistic with this amount of pips, but I'll be quick to take some levels, some profits right about here. So this is going to be the first target for AUDUSD, because the market reacted twice around here, and that was a previous sort of supply region. So if we do break above this, I will be targeting this region right about here. Now, how will I be able to set up for this trade? Easily. So once we do sustain above this level, I will just go over to the daily time frame. Now, simply what we do on the daily time frame is to align our trend with the overall trend. So you can see that clearly the market in the daily time frame has been bullish. So I need that bullish momentum to sustain up until we do break above this zone. So once that momentum sustains until we break above this zone and have a good retest and stay nicely, then I will now scale over to my entry time frame, which is the 4-hour time frame, and look for my setups. So this is how I trade, and then this is how I position my trades to get the best outcome from the market. So the reason why trading like this is the best is because you are following the market. Now, we're not in a full-blown reversal, but we have changed character on the high time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we have changed character, and on the daily time frame, I need to align my trades with what the monthly and the weekly is saying. Whenever I go to the 4-hour time frame and I'll set up my strategies for AUDUSD, I will be coming here to update you guys. So for now, this is how I'm looking at AUDUSD. I want to trade AUDUSD to upside, period. So now let's go over to GBPUSD. Now for the case of GBPUSD, I'm going to use my main chart now to show this. Now GBPUSD in the monthly time frame, you can see that we had this trend line right about here. So this trend line was taken off. So this trend line, what you can see is the monthly time frame. You see that the price broke above it, retested it, and has come right here. And it's now trading on that black line. That black line you see here, guys, you see weekly zone. So this is a weekly zone right about here. So this black line, which you can see, very faint thin black line, is a weekly zone. That was the previous neckline of a head and shoulder that saw GBPUSD to the downside. So That neckline is still the line we're seeing right about here, and price got back here and it rejected sharply to the downside. I made a series of videos on this last year when this was happening in real time, and I showed you guys exactly why it's happening and how you should be able to position your trades. Many of you guys that followed me last year can attest to this. Now you can see this is a previous supply region right about here. Price got to this level, came down right here, and has come back to trade above it. So after trading above it and met this black line, it kept on, reacting around this level, which is the supply region. Now we have broken above it. This is all I need for price. So we know that GBPUSD overall is bullish. The monthly time frame has showed that we have broken the major trend line and we are trading above the major trend line, making the trend bullish. Now we came here right about here. In my previous video I talked about it. We came right about here and ceased to make further movements to the downside, and this now became in hindsight a higher low. So when this happened, I knew that GBPUSD was going to go all the way back to the upside. Now I wasn't trading this move. I didn't trade this move all the way here. I just waited, because waiting gives you the best trading setups. I waited until we came above here. I like to trade into threads and I don't like obstructions. Whenever you see an obstruction and you don't take care of it, which means that you are not following the market the way you should. You are not following the chart the way the market wants you to follow it. The market is neutral, and every other thing happening in the market, it's independent of what you and I can do to the market. So the market does what it wants to do. All it needs of you, all it behoves you as a trader, is to align your analysis to what the market is doing. Then you will have the odds of the market in your favor. Whenever you take trades according to what the market is doing, you will have the best of trades. So in this case, I wanted and I waited patiently for GBPUSD to break above this level. Now it broke above this, and you can see this nicely retesting this. Now this is the kind of setup I need. So this is the 4-hour time frame. All I'll be needing, guys, for GBPUSD is to hold here, which is already doing that. You can see that my simulation is all the way to the upside. Let it hold here and then give us a setup. Once we have that setup, ideally when we break above this trend line, this counter trend line which I've seen here, we'll be trading GBPUSD back to the upside, and I'll be taking my first take profit here, which is going to be the 100% retracement. Now once we take our first take profit here, our next take profit will be right here. So we'll be setting up somewhat like this. Whenever we do break this counter trend line, we'll be setting up somewhat like this, and then this is going to be a first take profit level. 1:2 is 1:2 plus is okay, but I'll be targeting overall all the way here, because this is that black line I told you guys, and this is how I want to set up for GBPUSD. It's that easy, and this is how I love to take trades, and this is the best way to go about trading for next week. So this is all I came here to tell you guys on this channel on how to place your trades for GBPUSD. And as usual, I come here bearing gifts. In this case, bearing the best trading setups for the week to come. So that's it, guys. Make sure you do outline your trades like this, because this is how to trade, and this is how the banks, the big boys, the hedge funds, the major banking institutions, this is how they trade, and this is how you can be able to place your trades and make money. Join the free masterclass. The link is right in the description of this video, and if you want to learn more about how I trade, watch this video right here.